Hey guys, it's me, Christina, and I'm reading Daniel. I've kind of been reading Daniel since the new year. I may have taken a day off here or there because I've been working on setting up my new lovey, which I'll explain that either after this or I'll make a whole another video. Because I'm gonna have to explain what a lovey is to begin with. But I've been reading Daniel, and it has been so good. And something just kind of dawned on me today. And it should have dawned on me earlier than, just today. But I'm reading in chapter... Let's see. I'm in chapter 6. And he has gone through, two kings by now. Now King Darius is the king, and throughout all of them he has favor because he doesn't fear them. He's not afraid of them. He's not afraid of what they could do to him. And through that fearlessness, he has shown and proven the greatness of his God. And because of this, King Darius is put him ahead of everything. And of course, people are going to get jealous. Okay, so let me kind of preface this a little bit by saying one of my words for this year is excellence. And I said, Lord, I want to walk in excellence. I don't want to be about the quantity of all the different things that I can do for you, but I want to pick these few things and do them well. And that is a struggle for me. Not because I don't want to do a good job. But it's because I want to be doing everything. I always feel like I could or should be doing more. Anyways, so that has been my desire this year, is to walk in excellence. So I continue to read Daniel. And I continue to hear these kings say he has an excellent spirit. Daniel walks in a spirit of excellence. And that's why he is favored. That's why he's in these high places. Because he walks in excellence. What he does well. He doesn't just fly by the seat of his pants. But he goes to God and he prays for everything and he believes his God for everything, and he is not afraid what man could do to him. But instead he's afraid of what he might do to bring dishonor to his God. Okay, so I was reading this and I was just reading the part where King Darius was talking about Daniel, and he says, let me see if I can read it here. Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was within him. And it clicked. Because at the beginning of the year, I was like, Lord, what do you want me to start the year out reading? What do you want me to be reading? And I just felt Daniel. And I was like, okay. And then when I came to this, and I have realized that I've read this 2 or 3 other times, where it is said that he has a spirit of excellence. And I'm like, God, that's why you are having me read the book of Daniel. Because Daniel is a perfect example of walking in excellence and having a spirit of excellence. And what a spirit of excellence looks like is not just slapping it together, not just flying by the seat of your pants, not just half-butt doing stuff to get to the next thing. Excellence is whatever you do it unto the glory of God. Everything Daniel did, every decision Daniel made, he did it into the glory of God. Here he was, amongst all these pagans, amongst all these people that hated his God, stole him from his place. He was amidst these people that hated him. And he could have a sour attitude, and he could complain if he wants to. Daniel's got a right to complain. You know, if anybody's got a right to complain, Daniel's got a right to complain. But instead, from the very beginning, instead of fighting back with his flesh, instead of kicking and screaming and saying, I won't go and I won't do what you tell me to do and I'm not going to serve you, instead of having that kind of attitude, he brings in the way he lives for his God. And he lives it out in front of all these pagans. And how many kings' hearts did he turn because of the way he lived? Even though he was amongst a bunch of heathens, he was amongst a bunch of pagans, he was amongst a bunch of people that did not believe the way he did, think the way he did, value the things he valued. They spat on the things he valued. Look at Nebuchadnezzar's son taking... Oh, this had to have miffed Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar... Oh my gosh, can you speak? Nebuchadnezzar's son goes and he defiles the things of God. He asks for the gold and the silver chalices of Jerusalem, of the temple. And he gets them and they fill them with wine. And they praise the God of gold and silver and bronze. So not only are they using something that is sanctified unto God, but they're committing idolatry with it that had to irk God in some kind of way. So Daniel comes and he's like, if you can tell us, oh Belshazzar, I can't pronounce his name, what this means, we'll dress you in fine linens, we'll dress you in purple, we'll give you chains, we'll make your head above all these things. And Daniel's like, keep your money, but because I fear God, I'm going to tell you what God just said to you. And he boldly told the king he was doomed, knowing the king could have had his head cut off, the king could have had him killed. But even though he was serving that earthly king, his true alliance is with the God of Israel, it's with the God of heaven, it's with the God of the universe. That's where that lies. That's where his trust lies. That's where his allegiance lies. So instead of being mean and rude and all of these things, he walks in a spirit of excellence so that they can see the fruit that he produces. And he can say, I produce this fruit because of my God. He always gave God glory. And so the people that would have spat on the name of God wound up giving his God glory. That is amazing. That is amazing. That has caused me to rethink a lot of things. God, how do I represent you when I'm amongst some pagans? Do I want to... Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. My brother, I love him to pieces. I love my brother. But he is a self-proclaimed atheist. He believes there's a God, but he's not quite sure. But he loves to debate. Oh my gosh, he knows I'm an emotional person. He loves to debate me. And now I can tell when it's coming, and I try to back myself out of the situation. But I would just feel like I had to defend my God, because he would say some ignorant things just to rile me up. And I would feel like I've got to defend my God. You say one more thing, I'm going to punch you in the throat. Like, I didn't act like that or say that, but that's kind of how I felt like. Like, you're talking about somebody I love. You're being ignorant about somebody that I love. He may not be real to you, but he is real to me. That's not the way to act. My husband, the opposite. Well, if you feel what I feel, you would understand. And then my brother would have to admit. And then instead, my husband begins to tell his testimony. Things that you can't deny are God, and my brother has to admit. And I see this and I'm like, God, I'm sorry. I'm so emotional. I'm so emotionally based. And I just felt God say, you don't have to defend me. Like, you don't have to defend me. I'm not a kid on the playground that, I'm getting bullied that you have to defend. You don't have to defend me. And reading Daniel and seeing how he lives out his faith in front of these people that hate his God. He doesn't get mad. He doesn't have an attitude. But he does not fear them. Go ahead, throw me in the fire. Go ahead, throw me in the lion's den. Go ahead, do what you gotta do, but I'm telling you right now, my God will save me. And even if he does not save me, I'm not going to bow to your God. Because he feared, loved, and respected his God so much, he didn't care what they did to him. Because his love was towards God. I'm getting way off track. I'm loving Daniel so much. Anyways, I was just like, thank you so much, God. You know that my desire is to walk in a spirit of excellence. Help me to not act outside of my emotions, but help me rather to act out of wisdom, discernment. Give me a spirit of excellence in the way that I talk to people, the way that I share God, because it's not just our words that share God, but it's our actions. When somebody knows you're a Christian, they're watching you. They're watching how you deal with circumstances. They're watching how you act towards stuff. They're watching how you act when hard times come. They're watching. Are you going to snap back at somebody when they get ignorant to you? They're watching. So we preach more with our actions than we do with our words. And Daniel preached with his actions. The way that he trusted God. You know what, Nebuchadnezzar? These other people, I could preach that till I'm blue in the face, but I won't get into all that. But these other people, they can't tell you what your dream was. But don't kill them. He didn't say don't kill me. He said don't kill us. Give me time, and I will answer you. I will tell you what your dream was. Man, the trust he must have had in God. The first thing he does is get back to his room and, God, have mercy on me. I don't think he cried out of fear, but I think he just went to God and trusted that either this is my end and I'm coming home to you, or you're going to fix the situation. And here God used this little boy who walked in a spirit of excellence to go and change nations, change the heart of kings. He had favor with every king that he was under. He didn't try to escape. He didn't throw a fit. He didn't sulk and cry. And look at the end result. He was made a ruler over most of the kingdom. He was second in command to the king because he didn't whine and complain about his circumstances. He didn't have no family there. He didn't have no friends there. Like, except for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were in the same situation that he was in. All he had was his God. And because of the way he served God, he lived for him, because of his spirit of excellence, he changed the hearts of kings. Man, I feel like I have so much to learn from that. And I know, being that I know my brother, I know when I see him again, he's going to challenge me. And I want to be like Daniel and not answer out of my flesh, not answer out of my emotions. But I want to walk in a spirit of excellence. Wherever I am, I want to walk in a spirit of excellence. I just wanted to share that. It was too good not to share. I was like, oh, I'll do a video tomorrow because it's like midnight. But I'll remember this, but I may not remember exactly how I feel right now. So that's why I decided that I'm going to make this video. And another thing that I wanted to share real quick is, so because the king favored him so much, the other princes and stuff, like, they were a little bit out of shape and they were jealous. And so they were looking for ways to accuse him, and they could find no way. Lord, let my enemy find no fault in me. Let my enemy have to dig in my past in order to find dirt on me. Let me have nothing that I can be accused of. Okay, and then this is another thing that just kind of popped in my head. And I said, those not willing to work towards excellence are quick to tear down those who are, not because they can't get there themselves, but because they are not willing to put in the work. Help me strive for excellence and lift up others as I go. There's going to be those that are content where they are. And when they see you wanting to do more, they're going to say stuff like, that's not necessary. That's just so much work. We can't let that stuff stop us. Because if God has put it in our heart to have a spirit of excellence, then we can't pay attention to the words of other people. We just got to keep striving for what God's put in our heart. Okay, that's it thus far. I haven't even read the whole chapter. I read like 10 verses. Daniel is so good. And I love how you could read something a billion times. But in that season, when you're in a different season, it means something different to you. You get something different out of it. And right now, I'm just so dumbfounded. I shouldn't be shocked. But I'm just so thrilled that God knew I was working towards excellence. I wanted to walk in excellence. And that was my prayer for this new year. That's my word for this new year. And he puts the book of Daniel on my heart. And all through Daniel, all I've been hearing about is how Daniel walks in excellence. I'm like, oh God, you're putting the teaching right there before me. Help me to take it, to reap from it, and to grow from it. So I pray that we begin to look at our Bible studies like that. How can I grow from this? What can this teach me? What's things that I can apply to myself? And how does this teach me to love better? How can I love better through this? Because even the people that were around Daniel that were not Jewish, that did not have the same God as him, they respected him. They all respected him because of the just general kind of person that he was. Because he walked in excellence. He walked in excellence in the way that he treated other people. But he didn't put any of them before his God. Alright, that's it. Okay, I'm done now. Like, it's 20 minutes. I'm done now. This will maybe upload Tuesday. Lord have mercy. Alright, God bless you guys.